Hello everyone, welcome back to LiveCTF. We are on the third round of the second day. My name is ZetaTwo, or Carl, and I'm here with Vee.
Hi, I'm Vee Weiss. Yeah, excited to be here. Scorpio Sun. So let's go.
Nice. So we have a match here between Shellphish and P1G BuT S4D, and we're just going to get the match started, and we will talk more about the teams and the challenge they are solving. So I'm just going to check quick OK there. Yes. So we'll start the match. Let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Let's go.
Awesome. So we are off to the races. So yeah, the first thing that will happen is that the teams download
the tar
challenge.
file, yeah.
And start looking at it. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what various tools they will be using. We have here, as I said, P1G BuT S4D and Shellphish. Although we just learned before the match started that the player from P1G BuT S4D is at, is it ASU?
Yes.
Yes.
ASU, where Shellphish is from. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like a internal battle. And yeah, let's switch over to just look at P1G BuT S4D's screen.
Okay. They're interacting with the challenge, just seeing what it is. Already opened an IDA, finding the right function right now.
Right.
It looks like a string format, possibly.
Right.
Okay, so
yeah, so we have a classic like pwn challenge with like a menu. That you can choose various options. You can see them highlighting these like core functions here, like the delete message, edit message.
Okay, there's a const char star being casted there. Okay, so for more details, it's a messaging type of menu, so there'll be some user input, it looks like.
Yeah. We can have a look at Shellphish. So on their side, we also see IDA, also doing like the initial reversing. Looks like they're looking at a little bit of a different part of the code, just tidying up the types, which are a bit messy initially. Yeah, so
they're finding the size of the buffer over here at P1G BuT S4D, doing initial reconnaissance to find the inputs. For any type of function writing to it.
Right. So we see both the teams going for a pretty, starting out with the static analysis, doing like the decompilation and so on. And we have seen throughout the event, the amount of time people spend on the initial like static analysis before they go to kind of like the dynamic analysis differs quite a lot. Like some people like to do quite a lot of reversing before they start trying exploiting, and some people just do like a very cursory look before they bring out like a debugger and so on.
Oh, that's interesting. So both teams just went to static analysis first,
right?
Like spending a few minutes here.
Yeah. And I mean I think most of them do that like initially, but we'll see how long they stay here before they start writing some exploit code.
Yeah. P1G BuT S4D is very fast with searching, getting the function pointers, focusing on.
Right, so we have some
where
kind
they
of
can start writing
structure here being defined. So they're kind of like reconstructing this. Is it like a message struct, I think?
Yeah, it looks like there might be different fields to a message head area. We'll see what they can do with that.
Right. And it's a little bit interesting with the okay, there it looks starting to look a bit better once you start defining these types, and this helps you get a clear understanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
We can switch over to
interesting. So Shellphish is actually putting comments in their IDA output.
Right, and you could see they wrote overflow there, so it seems like they have well, potentially found the bug.
The bug, yeah.
And now they're trying maybe to figure out how do you get there and so on.
Yeah. Did you see where they had overflow? Which function? Or
so I think it was the same function that we were looking at
before.
Yes, but I'm not entirely sure. You can see there like they called something like a maybe next. Which is, I think, a good strategy. Like sometimes, you're not completely sure. You write something, but you make a note to make sure that, like, don't trust this too much.
In a limited time, you just keep going. P1G BuT S4D instead of comments, just renaming variables, cleaning up everything.
Right.
Yeah. So they're looking at the string compares right now. Okay, so there's bad words. So it seems in this challenge it's a message one, but it seems like there's going to be certain words you can't say as the bad word. And so that might be kind of where we'll want to put any type of payload or bypass there. So it'll be interesting to see what the bad words are as well as we go through the challenge.
Yeah, you can see that like big hex constant there.
Yeah.
It was looked very much in the like printable ASCII range. So there was probably a string that was incorrectly interpreted as a number. And now we can see some interaction with the binary again.
To be honest, this is how I know that they're kind of competent. They're like, I would just spam the binary. I would just be interacting with it at first too.
Yeah.
They're really trying to be more methodical. And it's how many, like what, over 5 minutes, over 3 minutes in, and they haven't really interacted much with the binary, just spending time.
Yeah, taking your time. Like it's very it's a big challenge, like the kind of meta game or like the strategy here. Like how do you because like you want to go quick, but if you rush it too much, you might get like tangled up in these like go down. It might become very messy, and you might actually lose time in the end.
Yeah. For sure.
So,
okay, so P1G BuT S4D is figuring out where the pointers are going to, where the function pointers are going to. How is Shellphish doing over there?
Right. So here we actually start seeing some exploits.
They start writing.
Yeah. So you can see here they're using Python with Pwn tools. The popular choice. Yeah. And they are kind of defining a new. I guess this is like a new message. They're this whole interaction with the program, they're writing these like helper functions to make it easy to write these things. So it looks like they are, you can see there they put hack is probably a bad word.
Yes.
Controversial.
Hacking is not a crime. But yeah, so it looks like, they already have their string initially being constructed. They're going to start sending a payload over. Maybe they're going to send it a few times and try and debug it that way, see what the response is. But it's interesting that Shellphish is already doing that. Meanwhile, this team is, they're doing a great job, like really commenting everything, knowing what pointer is doing what. And so this is clean, very clean what they're doing. Yeah. So
this is kind of what we were talking about. Like Shellphish went for like writing the exploit a bit faster, and then it's like, was it the right timing, or was it too fast, and will it end up costing them, or is it gonna give them the win? Like,
absolutely.
Versus like you going through the binary more thoroughly. Yeah.
So this seems like, a very basic string sanitization type of bug, malloc being called. So, this seems like a really good beginner CTF if anyone's watching and wants to take notes too.
We should actually point that out, that all of the challenges that we will run here throughout the event, we will be publishing them. So if you want to try these things out, we will actually also like post all the times the participants had. So if you want to try to do like benchmark yourself against these very, very good players, there will be a possibility to do so as well.
Yeah. So right now P1G BuT S4D's focusing on the delete message function here. What's Shellphish looking at right now?
Switching over to Shellphish, I see that so you can see there it was very quick, but in their Sol script they had these like thing to create a new message, and they put in these bad words, and this is actually the exact right way to go, because if I remember correctly, maybe you looked into this more, like the point is that when a bad word gets filtered, it gets like replaced by something that's longer, so it will like expand the size of your message, which will eventually overflow the buffer that it's located in.
And you can see that they're concatenating. Oh, sorry, my eyes are bad, but if we...
Yeah, so they're creating new messages. Those messages don't have any bad words. Those are just like big sequences of A's and B's.
Yeah, getting padding in to try and make it the right size already without having to have that penalty for writing the bad word.
Exactly. But interesting thing is that it seems like they're listing out the messages, and you could see that long sequence of Bs, but there were some garbage characters at the end, so that would kind of suggest that that is like a leak, so maybe they need that for the exploitation part.
Or is it any Unicode characters or any type of certain interesting characters, or just random ones?
Yeah, it looked just like random, so I suspect this is like you make a message that like just the right amount, and then it will print out stuff afterwards.
So a very simple Stack Overflow there.
Yeah.
And so, oh wow, we have some very nice Python happening over here with P1G BuT S4D.
Yeah, so they have these like template for their script, and this is actually kind of cool. You can see that the teams are prepared, right? Because you have these like short 2-3 letter functions that are used to just make it faster to type these exploit scripts.
That's very methodical.
Yeah, so that's...
so they're just encoding the strings to send over to... There's a GDB attach function that they'll be filling out soon.
Right, and they're... so they have these... I think it's really cool, like, you know, they come prepared with these kind of templates, and I've even heard, like, some teams have been... practicing, like they took the challenges from last year and used as kind of like a way to train their kind of like speed poning abilities. So like the teams are definitely taking it seriously. And here you can see you hack as using one of the bad words and like posting just a lot of these bad words.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Instead of doing random characters for getting the padding before hack, it's just using hack the whole time. So yeah, we'll see. So this means that I would say that it seems a little bit like P1G BuT S4D kind of like caught up to Shellphish here with this. So very quickly.
Yeah. So I think it's a very, very close race.
Yeah.
You can see they're grabbing some offset from IDA. And I actually don't know what that command was in GDB, but that's going to be interesting to see. And now they are running this with the debugger. And
they're just checking the breakpoints, seeing.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. Like the offset he found so quickly too in IDA, really doing some nice static analysis paid off there.
Yeah. So just putting a breakpoint there to see, maybe to analyze the, you know, the exploiter, and you can see those like hack messages. Yeah, so it's a pretty close race here, I would say. It's not sure exactly what they're doing right now, but if we look here again at Shellphish, I think they have like a very clean exploit script here. You can see these like helper functions for I think it's like a new message, edit message, delete message. Yeah, right. And using these to interact. So here you can see like it's very nice because it's easy to follow. Like they're creating 2 new messages, deleting one, editing one. There's some sequence of operation there that's nice to follow. So I appreciate that as a commentator here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very clean. And they were able to really quickly find the sanitization function. They were able to do this very quickly.
Yeah. And if we go back to P1G again, still doing some debugging. It looks like now they are in some. I was trying to see where they were doing the break, but I couldn't quite make it out.
It's kind of going fast there.
It's going very fast. I've been so the players they sit behind us here behind a wall, and I've seen some of the matches, like the speed at which they are like just typing the stuff is insane. And right. Oh, so there we can see if on the right side there you saw the deleted.
The words being removed.
Yes, and then since the string deleted is longer than the string hack, this is what causes the bug. Yeah, and they're stepping through the sanitize function. A lot of stepping to get to the right place.
Yeah, just tapping the button.
Yeah, that's and we have, if we switch over to Shellphish again, we can see that they run the check sec thing, and they highlight. I saw the player like highlighting the NX enabled. Here you can see.
You can see the 41, so you can see their payload, the padding for the A's starting.
Yeah. And trying to maybe figure out the various addresses and offsets, just checking that what ends up in memory is like corresponds to what they would expect from their exploits.
Absolutely. This is really classic debugging. So Pig BuT Sad is going back and checking.
Right, so it looks like they have, I'm just trying to see where they are putting their breakpoints, because you saw that they were analyzing some contents of the memory there, but I couldn't quite make out where that was. It was like in the string comparison stuff. Yeah. Oh, first I thought it was like the word was misspelled, but it's just backwards because the
endianness. Yeah. The deleted endian is backwards is great actually. That's a good team name. Detelid. Yeah. If you want to join, we're looking for members.
Yeah. How's your? Have you played any CTFs recently?
Oh man, we did Hack the Box CTF recently, like at work. It was really wholesome.
Nice.
That's a very good CTF. You know, they write some. It was like a VM reversing challenge, which was nice. But yeah, I recommend that as just a really relaxing one too. What about you?
So I've mostly kind of like retired, but I from playing, I organize a bunch of stuff. I do every year play the Flare on.
Flareon's great.
Yeah, and so hopefully that one should be coming up right now in like a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully that happens. But yeah, other than that, been more organizing than playing the competitions.
When was the last DEF CON CTF you played? Village or main?
So I founded Norse Code in 20. Must have been, was it 19? So I played the two COVID years of the DEF CON CTF.
Oh, wow.
So I've never played the DEF CON CTF on site, but yeah.
There was, I think it was DEF CON 2018 that I, like it was, I think there was like an ARM V8 x86 polyglot. It was, some of the challenges 2018 were pretty nasty.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so it must have been 20 and 21 then that I played. Those were the COVID years. Yeah, that makes sense. And we can check in with Pig BuT Sad again, but just like a final note, that's like Norse Code is here playing, not in this. They are actually playing in the. So that's a good segue to mention that we are running 2 matches in parallel. We are commentating this one between Shellphish and Pig BuT Sad, but we also have a match between I think it's Blue Water and Norse Code going on. Like they are playing the same challenge, but off stream. So yeah. So we have some more debugging action going on here, right?
So he's just making sure that the start of the payload is being put in the right place. He's using, you see the hexadecimal like 6.2s to try and figure out like where he needs to. So he's left adjusting the padding. I love seeing a L adjust and a right adjust instead of just like
right, yeah. Like
do that.
Using every single like convenience function.
The built-in Python ones, to
your fullest advantage. And it's also here looking at. Double checking like the memory mappings to find offsets and it's switching things up. They got rid of the hack words for now, so maybe they needed to like take a step back and just check some of their assumptions and where things are located.
So he's writing another function here for just editing the message.
Okay. Yep. So we can see these similar to what Shellphish did over here with these. You have these helper functions for like managing your messages, so like to not have to like repeat so many things in the exploits. And I feel like the Shellphish exploit code looks very similar to like not much has changed. I feel like since we looked at it a moment ago, but hopefully they've been gathering some
probably debugging, looking at GDB, setting breakpoints as well.
Yeah.
So they've written GDB attached to. That was part of the template for that Sad BuT Pig had.
Yeah, definitely they came prepared.
So Pig BuT Sad's going back to hack and using the word hack, but now they just have it in their payload. So to simplify it, they made their payload just be the hack bytes Sending that over.
Right, now there's, I think something went wrong there. Maybe there was like a very large amount of output. So
yeah, it might be on the size for the 100 hexadecimal. What size of like A's and B's are they sending over there? Also 100?
Yeah, so Shellphish, I think it was, I've seen various things in their code. Let's see if they switch back to it. I've seen like 100, 200, but you can see the read. Yeah, there's a read call there, reading hex 100 characters, and that's what they're sending there in their two new calls.
Okay, so you know the size is down. It seems like the verbiage is down. It's just really getting the right hexadecimal values in the right places.
Right.
Yeah,
so
which is all CTF.
Yeah.
Really, you put the hex in the right memory addresses, and then you
like,
get it.
You know, the good bytes, the bad bytes.
That's the medium bytes. They're all here. But yeah, let's go back to so. Yeah, P1G BuT S4D is still debugging. A lot of A's, a lot of B's we're seeing. Where are they? I wish I knew the hexadecimal for hack. That would make this a lot helpful.
Yeah.
Wish we had like. Do you have like YouTube comments? Could someone like put in?
Oh yeah, we should have that.
Yeah.
Like,
if someone knows
like
hack,
age would be like 69 maybe. Or
yeah. So 69, 41.
No, because 41 is the capital.
So
it would be 61.
Oh, true. 61. Yeah.
A, B, C, D.
We know how to do the alphabet really easily.
68.
68?
So
okay.
68, 61, I think, would be the start, and then 63.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great reverse engineering. I feel like this is like a hexadecimal class, like an intro comp sci. You have to like convert.
Hello, kids. Today we're learning about
hexadecimal. It's. We'll go to decimal next to make sure everyone knows 1 to 10.
Right.
Or 0 to 9, really.
Yeah. And then next week is binary.
Yeah.
And or homework, maybe.
We'll give homework. That's what this is. You know, you can do this at home. The challenges are on GitHub.
Right. Well, they will be on GitHub.
By the
it's well, a lot of single stepping again.
Yeah. So hack is going. Copying and pasting the offsets from IDA, putting the breakpoint there.
All right, so now they stopped right at the return instruction, so maybe they were looking at, you know, the stack layout at the point of executing the return.
Yeah, so they're right by RBP, RSP.
Yeah, it's. I really feel like both the teams are kind of onto it, and like they have, you know, the pieces, but then like you said, doing this like fiddling and like getting things just right can be, you know, a big challenge, and especially in this like stressful context. And
that's like so realistic, because I feel like when you have a code base, finding the bug is easy. Exploiting is way more difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, this is really realistic, I think, of anyone doing a, you know, sanitized string buffer overflow situation here.
Yeah. I do have a notification here that Norse code, let me just confirm this, but
this is breaking news.
Yeah. We're getting messages.
Yeah, hot off the press.
Yes. So Norse code did win the match that we are not commentating, like the other match that's running in parallel. So great job to them.
Do you feel like a father to the team because you found it?
It's, you know, father sounds maybe like a bit important. Maybe it's like, you know, the drunk uncle.
The drunk uncle.
Yeah, something like this, right?
Yeah, I could. Every CTF team.
Or like the old like grandpa who's like still think they're relevant. And like, well.
That's why we're here.
Yeah,
that's why we're here.
Like, well, back in my day, you know, something like that. No, but I have some good friends in the team. So for example, the guy who did play the match for Norse code. Close friend of mine. So of course I'm very happy for them doing well in this CTF. Definitely cheering for them. Although I have some colleagues from work in some of the other teams as well.
Wow. So it's like you're conflicted. How's that doing for you? Is that why you're the drunk uncle and not just the uncle? You have like the children. Your nephew's over there. Your niece is there.
Yeah. No, it's like Because it's like, you know, I mean, I like the people in Norse code, but I was just like, you know, they, I was not expecting them to, I was expecting them to do okay, but like, then suddenly they're performing pretty well, and they're like in 5th place in the overall main event.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
now I have to kind of like actually cheer for them, like, so that's super cool to see.
Set your expectations low.
Yeah,
I think that's
be
kind of a moral.
surprised.
Yes.
Yeah. Tip of the day.
Yeah, and know your alphabet.
Yep. Let's check in with Shellphish here. They are going back and forth a bit with Ida and the debugger. It looks like they are trying to, not sure, looking at the sizes of these buffers or something. I don't quite understand the code that's going. Now they just got the address for where the return happens. I think they're going to put a breakpoint there. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening.
So this is really cool over with P1G BuT S4D. Using GDB, they've got the offsets. They saw where stir copy is getting called, where puts is being called, and now they're just putting the right, they're putting that value that ends with 4028 into RDI. So now we're finally seeing some registers be called in their Python scripts.
Like a small ROP chain being put together here, which could indicate that they are close. It's going to be cool to see.
Let's see who gets ripped first. Yeah. This is exciting, actually.
Oh, look, you have like there was a bunch of null bytes on the stack there, I think. Yeah, right at the ret instruction. So they managed. So there's something that's slightly off because they got a null byte at the ret location, and now they're only two. Well, there's only one null byte. Before there were three, so they're like slowly adjusting. I think it's like the number of bad words or something. So I feel like they are close.
Yeah, he called search mem to see. That went too fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's. Okay, and so they have the bit mask in the payload too. They're trying to make sure everything lands in the right place. They're getting the length of the payload.
Yeah, I'm starting to get excited here now. It's feel like they could be, one small step away from.
They're close to pop RDI here. Like they got
Yeah, so they're doing like some small adjustment. You see some subtracting some stuff from the payloads.
So yeah, cool, simple ROP chain based exploit for this. This would be a really cool ROP chain beginner on GitHub if anyone wants to do this.
I think we, for a lot of these challenges, because we want them to be able to solve it within the 50 minutes we have, I think we have been fairly generous. Like sometimes we put some like very useful gadgets. Yeah, so they calculate a little bit of an offset there. Yeah,
they got the base address going.
Oh, they weren't sure if it was going to be a plus or minus, I think. So, yeah, it's very close. And now they are.
How's Shellphish doing?
Yeah, let's
go
over.
Back at Shellphish. Yeah, this is so exciting.
Yeah,
P1G BuT S4D is almost
have to,
getting
have
it.
one eye over on that screen. But
okay, I got you do that.
No, but we just seeing. It seems like the Shellphish player is like flailing around a little bit with a bunch of typos in the terminal. Like maybe the stress is getting. All right, he's running ROP gadgets, so he's trying to find some convenient ROP gadgets. So he dumped that out. And yeah, so that would suggest that they're about to put some ROP chain together.
Yeah, so in P1G BuT S4D, they have 0x dead beef right now in their ROP chain.
Oh, so they're using this as like a marker thing to make sure that they have they know that if they put this somewhere in memory and they find where it ends up in memory, and then they can use this as a marker.
And that's where the search mem command is super helpful. I think they're doing a great job manually, like back tracing and figuring out.
Because you could see that they were close, but it was like something that was like a little bit off, and then you have to backtrack a little bit.
No, this is art. This is like a blog post of like they already edited everything. They know exactly what they're doing. No mistakes.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any typos.
No.
I feel bad for you. Like if typos are happening, someone should get him like a lemonade. Maybe we should.
Yeah. And still there, there's the null byte there when they're at the ret instruction. So something is like misaligned or something with their exploits. Yeah, it must be very stressful knowing that you are this close, and you don't know how far along the other player is.
But it seems like everything is so smart, right? It's not like there's that much lag time. Like there's constant typing for him. With Shellphish, let's like spend some more time here. I feel like we've spent so much time with BuT S4D.
So you can see here, they are now putting together the ROP chain here. Like they used ROP gadget before, which is a tool to find well, ROP gadgets in a binary. They dumped it to a text file, and now like looking through this and like picking and choosing the various things. You can see here they're using this one pop RDI ret gadget here. So they're building up this ROP chain, and then you can see a few lines below. They have kind of like the start of the payload to, I think, like trigger the vulnerability, and then they add on the ROP chain at the end there. So very like methodical here, and
great comments too. I like how they actually have pop RDI or like ret for what they're looking at. You can not just making the gadget, they're showing exactly what instructions they want to start using for their ROP chain.
Right, and I think this is really cool to see, because now like a moment ago I felt like P1G BuT S4D was a little bit behind with like the ROP chain and stuff, but then something went wrong and they had to like debug this. And now Shellphish is like writing this, and so if they can like land this without, you know, too big of an issue, they might be able to catch up and overtake them again. So it's like a really, really close race here. Yeah, and
so at P1G BuT S4D, they're still using 0x dead beef to find where in memory they're at right now. They're so close to getting the right return address being put in the right place.
Right. So I think just to kind of like recap a little bit for the listeners, the idea here is that you have a message and you put bad words into it, which the bad words could be short and they get replaced by a longer word, which like expands your message and pushes the end. Eventually it will overflow a buffer. So the approach would be like you put a bunch of bad words and then an appropriate amount of padding to align everything, and then your ROP chain. And you have to kind of like align this up so that the thing expands just the right amount of bytes to put your ROP chain in the correct place. And yeah, we can see there's definitely, you know, there's something like there's something that they're like going wrong. You can see here ret instruction, and now now they have aligned it. You can see they are at the ret instruction, and the top is a one of their gadgets, I believe. So that's very significant.
Yeah. So pop RDI is a great gadget to start using there.
Right. And oh, this is so close.
Really?
Yeah. Like if we switch over to Shellphish.
Oh, they're typing like the same words basically.
Right.
Here,
you can see here.
Oh, I like how with Shellphish you could see the way they're naming it. They're like getting the base address of the library. This is a very like academic tutorial way.
Right. So this is like exploit code that I really like, and not too different from how I like to write it. Would be like being very like a lot of you have some log statements, proper variable names, like the whole thing. Of course, that might not necessarily be the like most efficient way in like a speed pwning setting like this, but on the other hand, like taking it, like doing a methodical approach and like make sure you do everything right can save you costly mistakes.
Yeah, and like there's something to be said at you want to be super careful with like subtracting the right base address to the function address that you're looking for.
Right. Yeah, and
so they have BuT S already written.
Yes. So they, I think they could. Oh, it's so close here. They're doing maybe some final debugging. Could we possibly see this working? I want to just look at them for a short moment more here to see if things are. Oh, like look! Now you have the ret that was pointing at the ROP address. Oh, sorry. The ROP chain was on the stack at the ret address. So it really looks like they are right there. So
yeah, they're.
Oh, and now they are duplicating the. Interesting. Are they?
Okay, so they're duplicating getting their shell. So they have SH in system.
Oh, actually, that was very interesting. The first ROP chain goes back to main. So, wow, this is pretty. It looks like they're doing one ROP chain
to overwrite
or to
the entry point of the message.
I don't know, because that first ROP chain ends with the main symbol, so we would like jump back to main and essentially restart the program, and then doing some kind of leak, and then I think this is. I mean, this might absolutely be a solution, but it looks way more complex than our reference solution.
P1G BuT S4D is also looking at.
Yeah. But I mean, like in the end, right? A flag is a flag.
A win is a win.
Yeah. You know, if you took a long detour and still got there faster, then good on you.
Okay, so they're putting age in now into their payload for debugging. Okay, so they're unpacking. They have U64 being called for unpacking, and then.
So they did a small leak, and then. Okay, then there they have the libc address as well.
Did we? Yeah. Okay. They're getting. It's getting the base hex. Okay, so this is just basic calculating the base. Meanwhile, it's interesting. Shellphish is already writing like a second ROP chain, and we're just over here still getting. Not that it's bad. I really like how methodical P1G BuT S4D is, but it's interesting to see that Shellphish is basically just like brute forcing kind of like the second ROP chain.
It's actually interesting if you look at their screen here. They're kind of debugging here. You can see they are at the ret instruction in the debugger, and then you have this 41 string at the top of the stack. So I think they are using that to like double check that the ROP chain are being is being put in the proper location in memory. So they could be close. And now they are copying some data from the top of the stack. Oh, they're using the cyclic.
Yeah, that's cool. So Shellphish is using a lot more like tooling.
So the cyclic function, it generates a sequence which you can then input into your program, and then you can take a very small substring of that sequence and then calculate back the index. So this can really help you figure out what offset.
That's interesting. We have more manual offset calculation here. Yeah, a lot less commands happening.
Right. It's there was a shell here in
Oh,
so
we have a shell.
Yeah. I saw the exec VE. I saw it. So now they're switching.
So they have exec V being called.
They're switching to the remote. You see, instead of process, they're switching to remote.
Oh,
and
might
now
have something.
So this is going to be a solve. They're putting in the host and the port name. And let's see, they're running it.
Yeah.
Oh.
P1G BuT S4D hasn't even started.
So, they removed the DB, and they have okay, let's see. They got it.
They got it. Wow.
They got it. Congratulations. Really nice. Really nice.
Congrats to Shellphish.
Yeah, Shellphish. Advancing in the tournament. Unfortunately, P1G BuT S4D are knocked out of the LiveCTF tournament, but they had a great run, really well played.
That was excellent. Seeing the template that they brought too, you could tell this team really is like sophisticated, knows what they're doing. Good luck to them throughout the entire CTF too.
Right.
And Shellphish, this was great. Seeing like the second attempt for ropping there, like.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So that means they will advance on to the next round. This was super fun.
This was great,
and, thanks for coming on as a commentator.
Thanks for commentating.
And we will go to a short break.
Thanks.
We will be back. Let's just check.
I'm ZeroXSleep on Twitter. If anyone wants to talk, I'm VEE on Blue Sky. If anyone's on Blue Sky. So see ya. Have a good one.
Yeah. Let's just before I sign off here, just take a quick look at the bracket. As I said, we had P1G BuT S4D will be facing Shellphish in the next one, and then no, sorry, that was just what happened. Shellphish won against P1G BuT S4D, and Norse Code won their match.
So it's a Shellphish versus Norse Code?
No, so that's what's happening is this is the lower bracket. So you have the upper bracket here. You have Macaroni versus Hype Boy, and then you have MMM versus Straw Hat. And the respective losers of those matches will face against like Shellphish or Norse Code.
Okay.
So that's it.
Shout out to Straw Hat. Great team name. Big One Piece fan. So love to see it. So who's the next one coming up?
I think we have, it's both of those two match, Macaroni and Hype Boy and MMM Straw Hat. I don't remember which one of those we are commentating, but we will be back here soon.
Great.
And yeah, have a nice day.
Bye.